Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds in the studio on a Thursday morning. Week's just flying by. State baseball finals continued yesterday down south of Springfield and Ozark. Who got the dubs in the, Class 3 and 4?
Correct.
All right, I got it right.
You did indeed, and the Class 4, and the winners were 3 and 4, of course. In Class 4, St. Joe Benton and Jefferson City Blair Oaks got the win. They'll play for the title at 1. And in Class 3, the victors were Mid-Buchanan and Duchesne from up around the St. Louis area. They'll play for the crown at 7. Duchesne knocked out Licking, which was the Southwest Missouri representative from up in Texas County. Licking got beat 10-3, and they will play at 4 this afternoon for third place. Now, the final set comes up tomorrow. That's 5 and 6, and the one area representative there is Willard, and we wish the Willard Tigers just a whole lot of good luck.
So it was kind of a little bit of back and forth between some of the police officers in Kentucky and Scotty Scheffler. I think he definitely played the better role, in my opinion. Just said, look, it's a misunderstanding. And in the end, a lot of taxpayers' dollars wasted, no charges.
No charges, and the county prosecutor said there's insufficient evidence here, even with the videotape and so forth and so on. So they dropped all the charges against Scotty Scheffler. I think the fact that the police officer, the arresting police officer, had something of a record himself probably didn't do the circumstance any good. But, hey, why spend the money and send this to some kind of a trial or something like that? No, let's just drop the charges and forget everything that happened.
Probably for the best. And, again, if you see emergency lights on the road, don't try to go around it. Just, unless you're in some sort of emergency, and then if you are, luckily, there are guys right there to help you and tell them what's going on. Last but not least, we have one more semifinal to get through before we get to the NBA Finals. This one could be in the hands of Dallas, but they got to win against the Timberwolves in Minnesota tonight.
Well, they do. Dallas has a 3-1 lead, and no team in NBA history has come back from a 3-0 deficit and won. But if anybody can, it would be the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have a very good basketball team. They've had a lot of ill luck against the Dallas Mavericks. But by the same token, they're playing in Minneapolis. This will be Game 5 in the series. And with that terrific defensive pressure, hey, the Timberwolves can pull away and give, like they did the other night when Dallas, I should say, was going for the sweep, and put that pressure on. The secret is Luka Doncic. You shut him down, and you have shut down the basic part of the Mavericks attack, and everybody knows this. So we'll see what happens tonight. I would not be at all surprised to see a Timberwolves victory tonight, but we'll find out.
You putting any chocolate chips on this one?
No, not in the NBA.
Smart man, very smart man. The Cardinals starting to look like a baseball team, aren't they?
They are playing much better baseball, and really, Mike, you knew they would, because baseball, as we've talked about before, is a game of peaks and valleys, and the Cardinals they're too good, or at least have enough talent to be able to sustain any kind of losing streak at all, and they obviously don't want to do that. Well, beat Cincinnati yesterday 5-3, and I'll tell you how well the Cardinals are playing, and this is a game of anomalies. Here, the Cardinals recall from the minor leagues Palante. Now, this guy got hammered when he was up earlier in the season as a relief pitcher, and they sent him down. And, Andre Palante had been around for years, but here, all of a sudden, they bring him up, and what does he do? He pitches 6 innings of shutout baseball, does a great job. They take him out because of the pitch count, and the offense continues to produce for the Cardinals. Then how do you explain that? Cardinals had a makeshift lineup, didn't have Nolan Arenado in there, and who has a home run? Matt Carpenter, of all people. Well, Cincinnati's not a real good baseball team, but be that as it may, Cardinals win 2 out of 3, take today off, and then head into Philadelphia this weekend to play the Phillies. But the Cardinals get the win 5-3.
I'll tell you why they're starting to play better. It's because you got the right combination of people in there. And that's sometimes the formula you need. Take the Kansas City Royals. You can't tell me half of the guys on the team, and they continue to win baseball games.
How about Nelson Velasquez?
That's what I'm saying, man. It's exactly what I'm saying.
You don't rate him with one of the all-time greats?
I mean,
I've never heard of him before.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That isn't true. Of course I have. He played for the Chicago Cubs, and the Royals got him last year in a deal. Nelson Velasquez produces 3 RBIs, half of Kansas City's run total last night in a 6-1 victory, and Seth Lugo is the winning pitcher. Folks, Seth Lugo is 34 years old, has been around baseball for a number of years. I call him a kid because he is compared to me, but He is from Centenary down in Shreveport, Louisiana, and he pitches again. And, I mean, this guy is really pitching just outstanding baseball. He's done this before, but not to this level. And the Kansas City Royals get a win. And a 6-1 win over a fairly good team, the Minnesota Twins. Hey, KC is playing well, folks. Is it championship level? They're going to have to prove themselves in the heat of summer. But right now, hey, it's pretty doggone good.
It is. And again, giving you something to watch and root for. Let's hope the Cardinals can do the same for their fan base. One of the top name NASCAR racing teams is folding at the end of the season. This is a kind of crazy turn of events.
It is indeed. This is the Stewart-Haas racing team, which has been around now for 10 years in NASCAR. And they've decided they're going to fold the tents and call it quits after this season. Now, you figure, why? Couldn't be finances. Heck, they've won their team, and they've had some big-time drivers on their team. They've won some big races, Daytona 500. They've won the Coca-Cola 600 over the years. They have not, I think it's 4 races. They've won 4 Cup races since 2020. And I think these two got together, Tony Stewart and Gene Haas, who are the co-owners, and said, hey, look, this is a business in which you have to spend 365 days a year and your entire mindset on making it a success. And we all have other irons in the fire. So maybe we better shut her down while we can. Now, I'm sure there are other factors involved, of course. But that principally is what they've said. We just simply do not have the time nor the wherewithal to maintain this team, and we want it to be a championship team. So why not just close the doors? So that's what they're doing, and that's a surprise. Stewart-Haas is a pretty doggone good team, or
he
was.
Is, but it's also kind of a microcosm of how much everything costs right now, and really how much it costs to run a team. I mean, there's a reason you see all those sponsors on those cars, man. It's a very expensive sport, Ned. You have a great Thursday, and I will see you mañana.